Tracking is essential, but too much code will slow your page down. Now, as a publisher, it's important to gauge how your readers are interacting with your website. But you can't go about adding tracking codes everywhere. But that's where Google Tag Manager comes in. You can simplify the entire process. Today, I'm going to show you how you can install or add Google Tag Manager codes to your WordPress website without using any plugin. Let's begin. So in order to give you a perspective of what Google Tag Manager does, think of your website as a busy newsroom. And each of your reporters are your Google Analytics tracking code, your marketing pixels, and different other tracking codes that help you track events and so on. Now, in order to get information of what your readers are doing, you'll have to go to them individually to check if they're working, what are their insights, what all they've tracked so far, and that becomes difficult. So just like a newsroom where you have an editor-in-chief, what does the editor-in-chief do? It gets inputs from all the different reporters and then has a publishing schedule so that everything goes out at the right time to the right place. So that is exactly what Google Tag Manager does. It adds all the codes for you, so you don't have to go around adding them manually multiple times over. And you know the best part? Google Tag Manager does not add a lot of code to your page, so your page is not going to slow down. So now that you know how Google Tag Manager functions, let's begin with the integration. So in order to set up Google Tag Manager, I would first want you to go to tagmanager.google.com. And once you're here, I want you to ensure that the Google account that is set up with Tag Manager is the exact same one that you are using for other Google services as well. This is going to be handy when it comes to Google Search Console and your Google Search Analytics so that it's all tied up to one Google account. Once you've ensured that, the first page you will see would be for setting up accounts. You can go ahead, click Create Account or click on the gray circle right in the front. Now, when you're adding a new account, it will ask you multiple details such as your account name. Over here, you can put in your website name. I'll also put web with it so I know that this particular account is primarily looking at my website. Next, you can go ahead, set up location. I'm from India, so that's the country I'll set up for. You do have the option to share data anonymously with Google and others. I want to go ahead, check that. It's optional, you can keep it unchecked as well. And then it comes to container setup. So container is what gets added to your website. So you can add a container name here, where you can also select what the container is for. Is it for a web page? Is it for an iOS app, an Android app, AMP, server? So I'm going to first put in my container name. So I'm going to put in the URL of my website. And then select the target platform, which in my case is web. Hit next. And now you will be presented with the terms of service for Google Tag Manager. Go ahead, read them. And once you accept the terms, this will get set up. And the first thing you'll see is add manager codes. So the tag manager codes, which you will need to add to WordPress. The top code, the code you see here, needs to be added to the head, and the second code needs to be added to the body. Now what also happens at times is, looking at a pop-up, you might just close it accidentally. You don't need to worry if you've done that. What you can do to get the codes back is click on this hyperlink, which is GTM and a code. This is your code. So you can click on that. It will show the installation instructions again. Otherwise, you can also head over to admin and install Google Tag Manager. Click on it and you'll get the installation instructions again. So you don't need to worry if you've accidentally closed it. Now, in order to set it up, I would want you to go to your WordPress instance. So once you're on your WordPress dashboard, I want you to scroll down to Appearance and click on Theme File Editor. Now, once you're in this window, on the right hand side under Theme Files, I want you to look for header.php. Scroll down. So in my case, it's theme header, and click on that. So the header file is now open. Now the code needs to be added as high as possible right after the head tag. So I want you to add a space, a line break after that. Now let's go back to Google Tag Manager and copy the code. I've copied it. Let's go ahead, paste that code. And there's one more code that needs to be placed in the body tag. As you can see, the body tag starts right here. It'll add it right after the body tag is open. So let's add a line break. Copy the code from Google Tag Manager and paste it. Now you'll need to click update file so that all the changes that you've made have been saved. As you can see, the file has been updated successfully, so the implementation should be done. Now the tag manager setup also gives you the option to test it, so let's go ahead and do that right away. Now here you'll need to put in a valid URL, so I'll type that in. Okay, looks like I've missed out on the HTTPS. Let's go ahead and add that as well. That's done, and hit test. So as you can see, we've got a green tick at the start, which means that Google Tag Manager installation has happened successfully. Now if you've missed out on testing it here, you can also go to your website and check the page source code. So with the source code, as you can see right in the head, in the first line itself, you can see Google Tag Manager and the codes are visible here. So all the Tag Manager codes are available on the website on the front end as well. So it looks like a successful implementation for Tag Manager. Now, if you've missed out on testing your website from the setup page itself, you also have the option to go to your home screen for Google Tag Manager and click preview. So when you click preview, it will check if the tag assistant is connected. So you'll need to enter your website URL again here and hit connect. Hit connect. And what it does is it shows up, it opens a new tab and shows that the tag assistant is connected, and you'll get a connected message on your Google Tag Manager screen. And that's it. We've successfully added Google Tag Manager to a WordPress website without any plugins. I hope you find this helpful.